What's good? It's your boy EB. Welcome back to Black Sheep to Go. Now, this week, I kind of deviated from the big games, and I just looked at the Houston Texans, and then there's a few things I like and a few things I definitely don't like. Now, I guess I'm going to start about with what I don't like. Now, what I didn't like was running game was horrendous. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible because one, their offensive line is I'm sorry to say this, but their offensive line is complete trash. The receivers don't want to block, it looks like, and they trying to set the edge and all that bullshit. They run it, they would get stuffed every time. And throughout the game, pause. And then throughout the game, they was only getting 1.6 yards a carry. I can't even remember how many rushing yards they had. They maybe had 100, but it was split through, I want to say, 3 or 4 players. It's not it. That's not it. CJ Stroud is coming along, but this game, to me, just the eye test, I don't even know what numbers he put up. It was horrible. To me, it didn't look that good. And by the way, if you just counting up how many per yards a carry, the league average is 2.7, and they well below the league average. It was horrendous out there. And then the route combinations, and if you just look at the route combinations, one, they look easy to defend. They look rudimentary. It ain't doing what it's supposed to do. And if I'm really, really nitpicking the defensive line, they don't get enough pressure for me. Yes, the defense is good. I'm going to get to that. But the defensive line itself, and then to me, the linebackers look a little slow. I don't know if it was the Alvin Kamara effect. I don't know what it was. But now, what I liked about this was the way the defense played was absolutely remarkable. It was really good because it just what they would do, like something this is just me going off of memory, but something they would do was this Jamie Ward, amazing. He played a good game too. But what he would do was they would trick the offense. I know it's Derek Carr. It don't take much to really confuse Derek Carr. But what they would do is you think it's a cover two, and then all of a sudden he just sit there. Won't even move. He waiting for a route. Most likely maybe not a corner route. What's the other one? A post route. He could be waiting for that. He could be doing that. They'll switch sides with the free and strong safety. Sometimes the safety is sitting in the box and he'll just run back in the cover two coverage with his half of the field. Sometimes he'll just run and kind of like behind the middle linebacker, and he'll just sit there and he'll watch and he'll wait for a route. They did everything possible, but the offense will not give them a chance in Houston. I think CJ Stroud can be a superstar. I'm not tooting my own horn, but I don't really be wrong about stuff like this. He has the possibility to be a superstar, but what I think Houston is really going to need to do, personally, Houston really going to need to maybe find another offensive coordinator. Wow. But after they do that, it's still some building they got to do because they have to go all the way from the ground up, what it looks like. Because it's so much stuff that I can just nitpick about. Like when they run, like they'll run a motion just to see what coverage. Sometimes they're going to change the coverage. You can't do that every time. And then the run game, I'm harping on different things, but the run game, like, it's either left, right, middle. You don't see any pulls. You don't see any draws. running back draw. You don't see that. You don't see no RPOs too much. It's just hand it off, just give the offense a break and give receivers the rest. But I'm not gonna talk about the Texans too long. And by the way, I'm gonna say this too. For the two undefeated teams that lost this week, fans of them need to really understand. The Jets are good. Zach Wilson basically he it's nothing he can lose. That's what you gotta understand. The Jets are good. They have all the tools to win a Super Bowl, but of course Aaron Rodgers got hurt. You gotta understand that. The rest of that team just didn't just go away overnight. That's what I don't understand what the panic is in Philadelphia. The panic is on ESPN. So what? 17 fucking games in this shit. And you about to run yourself ragged for one? That don't make sense. You in the Eagles are in a weak division. They could run the table. They could end up back where they was last year, because if we being honest, they was a bad call away from winning the Super Bowl champion, winning the Super Bowl to be Super Bowl champions. They can do it again. And for the San Francisco 49ers people, I talk to folks on the internet too, but for the people that love the San Francisco 49ers, what you got to understand is 90% of the time when you come from the West Coast to the East Coast, you're not winning those games. That's just the time zone different. If you play at 1 o'clock, bruh, it's like you playing at, 10 a.m. in San Francisco. Nobody's ready to play. So, that's rough. I know they beat the Steelers, but the Steelers really not that good. They beat the Ravens, but to me, they're not that good. And you should have expected the Browns to give you their best game. But it should be no panic with these teams. These teams are still good, still 1-2. We might see them in the championship game this year. But I'll talk to y'all later.